Sovereign, we wanna be food sovereign. Keep growing, destroy, you can call us KGD.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Keep Growing Detroit Farm. My name is Akello. Today we're going to be talking about transplant production at the home setting. And let's first talk about the materials that you'll need. So you're going to have something to apply your water with. A spray bottle works fine. Thermometer to check the temperature. A tray to put your plants in. It can be any type of size as long as it can hold some soil. A heat mat if you don't have adequate heat in your home. Something that stays consistently 70 degrees, somewhere around that temperature. A light source if you don't have adequate lighting in your house. Plants typically need about 16 hours of sunlight, and they also need dark time too. Amendments for your plants in case they start to yellow, and then some type of soil media, a starter mix for your plants. And you mix some of your mix with your, in this case we're using worm castings. Mix some of that with your amendments, and you can also add some compost too. That's a nice easy mix to get started with your plants. Mix that in here, put that in your tray. You don't need to fill the tray up all the way with soil because the plants at this stage in their life don't need that much soil. I also recommend that with your tray container that you drill some holes, not at the bottom, but on the side of the tray, just in case your plants need some water and you're not there to water your plants. They have a little bit of a savings to work with. And today we're going to be, just demoing with some bell pepper plants here. With seeding, typically for me, I seed them close together. That's okay because I know that this isn't going to be their final home. And from my experience, it's okay for plants to germinate when there's other plants next to them because we're going to separate them ultimately. And before you seed your plants, you kind of need to know what are those ideal temperatures for some plants. A nice easy temperature to germinate things at is 70 degrees. So make sure that you're hitting that mark at least. If you don't have that temperature or can't reach that temperature, it just might take your plants a little bit longer to germinate. But with seeding your plants, just spread them out right on top of the soil. And you want to cover them lightly with just some more media. This is just to help them stay moist and help them germinate a little bit quicker. And you want to water those in. With your schedule, you want to at least check your plants twice a day to make sure that they don't dry out, and to check for other things that might happen. Either might be some pest pressure, they might not be getting enough light. So you need to check them at least twice a day to do some troubleshooting or do some maintenance with them. Now, once your plants germinate, when it's time for them to be potted up, to be transferred from their tray into a individual pot, it's time when the plant starts to develop its true leaf. And you can transplant your plant a little bit before they develop their true leaf. But when they start to show their true leaf, that is really a sign that they need more space. Okay? So when you're working with your plants, you want to make sure that you just don't reach down and just grab them up by the roots. You have to operate them and handle them gently. And so when you're working with your plants, you kind of want to separate them out. You don't want to grab them all at once. You want to hold them by their cotyledon leaf and gently move them by their roots and have them like so. This bell pepper here is about, I seeded this the last week of February, so these ones are a bit old. make a little hole in your tray. And also, I don't operate or don't handle these plants by their root system, because if I damage the roots, then it'll be harder for the plant to grow. And if I hold it by the stem and snap the stem, then it'll be very hard for the plant to grow as well. But it comes with, the plants come with 2 cotyledon leaves, and so if I break a cotyledon leaf, I can know that the plant will still survive because it has another leaf to photosynthesize with. All right, and so when you have them in your tray and you seed your plants, you're working with a lot of them all in one area. And so when you're germinating some tomato plants or whatever plants, you want to know how many you need in your garden. So if you need 10 plants, don't just seed 10 tomato seeds. You want to account for loss, because all types of things happen when you're growing plants, and so the only way to really account for that is to germinate more than what you need. So if you need 10, I say germinate 15. If you need 20, germinate probably 30 plants, okay? and when you have them in your tray, you're going to be working with a lot of plants at once, so you don't have everything in different places. Once they germinate and once you know that the plant is there and guaranteed, then you want to take it and put it into some place where you can give it a bit more individual attention. But yeah, thank you all for joining the class, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments.
Sovereign, we want to be